We'll definitely stand by for that. Still to come here on Your World Today, boosting the bottom line. The Bank of England takes some extraordinary self-proclaimed names.
We'll talk to a pair of music industry insiders, and we do, of course, want to hear from you. Stay with us.
I don't think anything's happened. You know, he was acquitted of all charges, so what's there to question?
I like him. I like her. His dance.
He's the best.
Yes, exactly.
He is an inspiration. And there'll be no one ever to touch a planet like he has.
Maybe so. Welcome back. Will he take the stage again? An announcement from Michael Jackson expected within the hour. His Thriller, of course, the best-selling album of all time. But will people pay good money to see an odd, aging artist return from self-imposed exile? Michael Musto is a columnist with The Village Voice and joins us now. Thanks for being with us. Is this a show you'd want to see? Would anyone else want to see it?
I would see it, but I would see anything, basically. I think Michael Jackson actually belongs in Las Vegas, not in a lounge, but in a large auditorium there, or at least in Atlantic City. But it looks like what I'm hearing is he's going to announce that he's playing in a large arena in London for 20 performances. This is kind of risky. I'm surprised to see some young people there actually interested in him, because he was the king of pop when his throne was more polished in the 80s, I would say.
Now, you are the perfect man to talk about this. You're the king of gossip in New York.
That's right.
And Michael Jackson, I mean, gossip follows him like a cloud. Does that help him sell tickets, or are people just going to stay away?
Well, I'm still the king of gossip. That's the difference. He needs to get back into the public eye. This is a very good splashy way for him to remind people that he's still out there. But more importantly, it's a way for him to make money. He's beleaguered. He's had court cases. He's had to write supposedly hush money for various cases, though he says it's not hush money. He just doesn't want to go to court sometimes. And he's a public relations nightmare. But he's still a great entertainer. And I think this would be a dazzling way for him to show that he can still twirl around with the best of them.
Well, let me ask you about that, the best of them. Let's compare it. Is this going to be bigger than Bruce, bigger than U2, or is he going to look like Wayne Newton on an off night?
Somewhere in between. I mean, he's not as hot as Britney Spears, though they do have the same eye makeup. But I think, I mean, this could be something like a Cher or a Bette Midler, but male. Apparently in this arena that he's going to be playing in London, from what I'm hearing, is where Britney played when she was down and she made a comeback. It's where Prince went to make a comeback. So it could be a magical venue for him. I'm very cynical, so I don't see it happening. But I understand that he needs to make money. His life is slipping between his pasty little fingers.
Well, how many people just look at him and think of this and say, yuck?
I would say a lot of people. But whenever I write that, a battalion of his fans organize and say, how dare you, we still love Michael Jackson. He still has a very organized following.
Why is that? Let me ask you about that, because he hasn't recorded a studio album, I guess, since 2001. Where are these people coming from?
I don't know, and I can't believe there are people under, let's say, 50 who care about him, but they are. I mean, it's like a car accident, maybe, where you can't stop watching. But on some level, it's also that we do remember the guy who could moonwalk and sing Thriller and really excite us like nobody had since Elvis Presley.
Well, I'll confess, I do not know. Maybe you do. Does he even have a new album out? Is there any new Michael Jackson music around?
Maybe online there's something you could download. I don't think so. He hasn't really come out with original music in a long time.
I guess he doesn't need to, though, does he?
He has so many hits, he could just do a jukebox musical of his own. And in fact, Thriller is coming to Broadway. There's a jukebox musical of the songs from Thriller, not with Michael in it, but that's going to be another form for him to make some moolah that he so desperately needs.
Inevitably, maybe. Any town he goes in, he's front page news? I mean, is this just going to take over whatever community that concert moves to?
Absolutely. Even when Michael Jackson's trying not to be noticed, you can't stop looking at him. He's the guy who wears like a gas mask so you won't look at him. I mean, you know, he's really out there. He's a person all his own. Watch out, Siegfried and Roy. Michael Jackson is the ultimate freaky icon, and we can't stop caring about him, even in a negative way.